The desert between us. Scene 1. Ayesha Al-Saad. The soft clinking of cutlery, the only sound in the luxury restaurant humming with muted conversations and gentle piano music somewhere in the back. Then a small gasp. A glass falls and a chair scraping sharply. There are moments when the world holds its breath. This was one of them. Because when Lily Griffiths collapsed, London's pulse skipped with her. Harper Griffiths freezes. The kind of woman who can buy skyscrapers with a phone call, but cannot bargain with fate for her daughter's next heartbeat. Chaos erupts, waiters drop plates, a manager stutters words meant to calm, but sounding like broken glass. Harper, sharp, trembling control. Lily? Lily, look at me. Sweetheart, open your eyes. Someone call an ambulance. Waiter. Ma'am, she fell. I'll get help. Harper, command slicing through chaos. Move. Now. Harper Griffiths didn't shout. She didn't need to. Money has a tone quiet, cold, and absolute. But wealth can't bargain with a child's breath. And Lily's was slipping. Then, from the back, past the swinging kitchen door, past the heat and steam and anonymity, a voice cut through the noise like a blade dipped in calm. Ayesha Al-Saad steps forward. Dishwater on her hands, desert sun deep in her eyes, and a fear in her chest she carries like a second spine. She sees Lily. Sees the symptoms. Sees home. A rare desert-born metabolic disorder, one England doesn't even teach in their textbooks. In Ayesha's village, she treated 5 cases before she was 22. Ayesha, steady, accented, absolutely certain. Turn her on her side. Not flat. Do it now. Silence fell on the restaurant instantly. Harper. Who? What are you? Ayesha. If you want her to live, do as I say. She moved with purpose. Hands smelling of soap and cumin from the lunch rush. Sleeves damp, hair pinned back like she'd run out of reasons to try. But her eyes. Oh, her eyes held the desert. And the desert does not panic. Ayesha. She is overheating. Her breathing is shallow. This is not fainting, this is metabolic collapse. Does she sweat at night? Rapid heartbeat? Any confusion before this? Harper, shaken, defensive. What? How do you even? Who are you? Ayesha's voice is soft, but firm when she answers. A person who knows what is happening to your daughter. Help me lift her, please. There it was. The first please Harper Griffiths had heard in years that wasn't tied to money. It disarmed her more than the fear. They lifted Lily together. Ayesha's assessment is quick, her voice alarmingly steady. Her tongue, look. She needs cooling immediately. And salt water. Not sugar. Not plain. Her system can't regulate heat properly. Harper. How do you know this? Ayesha, quiet, haunted. Because. I have seen it before. Too many times. Ayesha realized too late what she'd done. Too late that she'd stepped out of the shadows she'd been hiding in for months. Every instinct screamed at her to disappear again. Blend. Retreat. She had no right to be here. No visa. No license. No protection. Just knowledge. And fear. A tall woman with too much power was staring at her like salvation. And that was the most dangerous gaze of all. Harper, soft, deadly certain. You're coming with us. You're going to the hospital with Lily. Tell them everything you just told me. Ayesha steps back. No, I cannot. Harper, voice turns to steel. My daughter needs you. Ayesha. And I cannot help her if I am taken away in the process. 2 women. 2 worlds. Colliding. One out of fear. One out of love. Both out of options. And Lily Griffiths breathed on, fragile as a prayer. Ayesha had stabilized Lily in seconds with improvised brilliance. A move that feels like divine intervention to everyone watching. Except to Ayesha, who feels only terror. Because she's just exposed what she is. A doctor without a license. A woman on borrowed time. A heartbeat away from deportation. And Harper? Harper looked at her like she's oxygen. And oxygen is priceless. Scene 2. The ride that changed everything. The ambulance's door slam is harsh, and then the sirens rise as the engine rumbles. Inside, the oxygen hiss, trying to keep Lily's weak breathing steady. London rushed by in streaks of gray and red as the ambulance carved through traffic. Inside, the air was thick with antiseptic and urgency. Harper sat rigid, one hand gripping her daughter's small fingers, the other gripping panic like it owed her money. Harper Griffiths, billionaire single mother, a queen without a crown and power like cold fire, silent, absolute. A woman used to be obeyed immediately, but for her child, she would set London ablaze. Across from her, sitting on a steel bench meant for paramedics, was the woman who had stepped out of a kitchen and into her life like she had been summoned. Ayesha Al-Saad, medical doctor from a remote Saudi desert region specializing in rare diseases. Visa denied due to bureaucratic mess and lack of funding. But now, in the harsh fluorescence, Harper could see it. The tremor in her hands. The fear coiled under her skin like a trapped animal. Harper, soft but sharp. You're shaking. Ayesha, avoiding eye contact. Ignore it. Harper, are you afraid of her condition? Ayesha, quick, defensive. No. I am afraid of you. Oh, that landed. Harper blinked, actually blinked. A woman so used to obedience she'd forgotten what resistance felt like. Harper. Why? Ayesha. Because you're the kind of person who gets what she wants. Harper, leaning forward. My daughter deserves the best care. If you're the one who can save her, then yes, I want you. Ayesha. You don't know what you want. You only know how to buy it. It wasn't loud. It wasn't cruel. But it hit Harper like a slap she'd been waiting her whole life for. Because Ayesha was right. Harper, slow, dangerous, quiet. Tell me what you need. Tell me what it costs. Money is not the obstacle. Ayesha, finally looking at her. My life is the obstacle. Harper, confused. Explain. Ayesha. If I walk into that hospital and tell them what I know, they will ask for my credentials. And my papers. Both expired. Both denied. Not because I am unqualified, but because the system prefers paperwork over human lives. If I speak, Harper, I disappear. There. Her truth laid bare. A whispered confession swallowed by the roar of the engine. Harper inhaled sharply, as if someone had taken her by the throat. This woman, this quiet, stubborn, desert-born miracle, was risking everything for a child she had never met. Harper, voice hitching. Why did you help her then? If you knew the risk? Ayesha, soft, painful honesty. Because I have lost a child before. Not mine, but one who called me doctor with her last breath. I will not lose another, not while I can still move my hands. Harper felt something unfamiliar bloom in her chest. Respect. Raw. Uninvited. Real. Harper, voice breaking only slightly. Thank you. For saving her. Ayesha shakes her head. I have not saved her. Not yet. The ambulance lurched to a halt. The doors threw open, and a rush of cold air swept in, smelling of rain and hospital dread. This was the line. If Ayesha stepped out, she risked everything. If she stayed, Lily might not make it through the night. Harper reached for her. Not grabbing, not demanding. Just reaching. For the first time in her life. She wasn't commanding someone. She was asking. Harper, quiet, earnest. Walk with us. Please. Ayesha, eyes burning, breath shaking. You do not understand what you're asking me to do. Harper. Then teach me. Let me understand. And that was the moment something shifted in the universe. Not spoken. Not acknowledged. Just felt. Two women standing on opposite sides of a chasm. Realized the bridge between them was already forming beneath their feet. Paramedic. We need to move. Now. Ayesha exhaled. A sound like surrender and defiance woven together. Then she stepped out of the ambulance. And into Harper's world. Scene 3. The Hospital War. Hospitals have their own weather. Cold. Sterile. Unforgiving. A place where hope is rationed. And bureaucracy is oxygen. Harper Griffiths strode in like a storm wearing heels. Behind her, Ayesha followed. Each step a silent argument with her own survival instinct. Lily was rushed ahead, swallowed by curtains and frantic hands. And then, the first wall. Nurse, blocking Ayesha. Ma'am, I'm sorry, staff only past this point. Harper, already irritated. She is staff. She's looking back at Ayesha. Coming with me. Nurse. And she has ID? A badge? A role here? Ayesha. I do not work here. Harper snaps. Then hire her. Right now. Nurse, unamused. That's not how hospitals function, Ms. Griffiths. Harper inhaled through her nose. That slow, deadly inhale that meant she was deciding whether to destroy an institution or restrain herself. Ayesha stepped forward before she could ignite. Ayesha, firm, unflinching. Stop. This is not your battlefield. Harper, turning sharply. My daughter is in there. Everything is my battlefield. Ayesha. Not this one. If you push, they will dig. If they dig, they will find me. And if they find me, I am gone. And Lily loses the only person who understands what is happening to her. The air went still. Ayesha didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. Authority came naturally to her. Not from money. Not from status. From truth. Harper, voice cracked with frustration. Then what do we do? Stand here and wait while she's suffering? Ayesha. No. We help. But we do it correctly. Harper stared at her, breath trembling, hands flexing like she wanted to tear the whole building apart. But Ayesha stood there with the calm of someone who had carried dying children through sandstorms. Someone who had lost before and refused to lose again. Ayesha, I will tell the doctors what they need to know. What they must test for. What they must avoid. Nothing more. Nothing that puts me at risk. Harper, you're afraid. Ayesha, meeting her eyes. Every second I am still on this floor. Yes. Harper. Then why are you here? Ayesha. Because your daughter is fighting for breath. And fear is a luxury she cannot afford right now. Then the doctor approached, clipboard in hand and looking exhausted. Doctor. Miss Griffiths? We're stabilizing her. But we need more information. Medical history? Known conditions? Harper, helpless for the first time. She is none. Nothing like this ever happened. Ayesha, stepping forward. Check for desert-induced electrolyte disorder. Her sodium/potassium balance. Her muscle response. Her heat regulation. They match the pattern. Doctor, frowning. That's extremely rare. We almost never see it here. Ayesha. Exactly why you are missing it. Doctor, suspicious. And you are? Ayesha, steady. Rehearsed lie with painful ease. A concerned bystander with experience. You will find elevated core temp, low sodium, overcompensation, and adrenal function. Run the tests. You'll see. The doctor hesitated. Harper didn't. Harper, commanding. Run them. Now. Doctor. We'll check. Excuse me. He disappeared down the corridor. And silence settled between them. Not peaceful. Charged. Heavy. Alive. Harper stepped closer, lowering her voice. Harper. Why do you do that? Ayesha, tense. Do what? Harper. Shrink yourself. Speak like your knowledge is a crime. Like your presence here is an inconvenience. Ayesha, jaw tight. Because in this country, without papers, it is. Harper. Then let me. Ayesha. No. Do not say you will fix it. Do not use your money like a sword. It cannot cut everything. Harper, whispering raw. I'm not trying to cut you. I'm trying to help you. Ayesha. Help me by letting me fight my own battles. I am not another project for your empire. There it was. The line Harper had never crossed before. Being told no. But the way Ayesha said it. Strong, unbending. Alive with pain she kept locked deep. It didn't repel her. It fascinated her. Harper looked at her. Like she was a puzzle wrapped in fire. Ayesha looked back. Like Harper was the storm she never asked for. But might finally need. A nearby intercom crackles. Miss Griffiths, please come to treatment room 6. They both froze. The test results were back. And whatever came next would bind them together in ways neither expected. Scene 4, the diagnosis, the breakdown, and the first crack in their armor. Treatment room 6 was too bright. The kind of brightness that doesn't illuminate. It interrogates. Lily lay small on the bed. Her chest rising and shallow, stubborn breaths. Wires hugged her like vines. Machines whispered their warnings in rhythmic beeps. Harper froze in the doorway. All her power. Her boardrooms, her empires, her name. None of it meant anything here. She walked toward her daughter, like a woman approaching the ruins of her own heart. Aisha stayed back, shadowed, watching, hurting for them both. The doctor returned. Doctor, clearing throat. Miss Griffiths. We have the preliminary results. Harper, voice barely holding. Tell me. Doctor. It's unusual, but the symptoms match what she mentioned. Your daughter has severe dysregulation caused by rare electrolyte instability, often triggered by specific desert pathogens. Harper, stunned. Desert? She's never even left England. Aisha, soft. It can lie dormant. Years. Even a lifetime. Until something wakes it. Doctor. We're preparing the treatment. It's complex, but we caught it early enough. Harper, whispers. Will she be okay? Doctor. She has a fighting chance. We will start treatment. Harper exhaled a sound she didn't know she was holding. A broken prayer. A mother's confession. The doctor stepped out, leaving the two women together. In the fragile hush of fear slowly loosening its grip. Then the cracks appeared. Harper moved to Lily's bedside, gracing her forehead with trembling fingers. Harper, a whisper to her daughter. Sweetheart, you hold on. Just hold on for me. Her voice splintered. Aisha looked away, as if witnessing Harper's vulnerability was an intimacy she hadn't earned. But Harper caught her eye, and something inside her unraveled. She straightened, pulling herself together with shaky pride. She hated being watched while breaking, but she didn't tell Aisha to leave. She couldn't. Harper, quiet, raw. How did you know? Everyone else missed it. And you saw it instantly. Aisha breathed slowly, as though pulling the past up from a grave. Aisha. Because I've seen it before. In my clinic. In the villages beyond the dunes. Children who collapsed in the heat. Children who died because no one believed their symptoms were real. I fought that disease for years. And lost too many. Harper. But you saved her. You saved my little girl. Aisha, shaking her head. Do not say that. Not yet. She is fighting. I only point the way. Harper's strength finally cracked. Tears slipped down her cheeks. Silent, furious, unwanted. She covered her face, as if she could hide weakness behind her palms. Aisha, the woman who feared authorities, feared deportation, feared the system that had already broken her, found herself stepping forward, slowly, carefully, as if approaching a wounded lion. Aisha, soft, hesitant. Harper. Harper didn't move. Aisha lifted her hand, paused, and then gently rested it on Harper's shoulder. Aisha, whisper. You do not have to hold the world alone. Not right now. And Harper, who had never relied on anyone, leaned into that touch like her ribs were collapsing inward. Only for a heartbeat. But it was enough. Harper lowered her hands. Eyes glassy. Cheeks wet. She looked at Aisha, as if seeing her for the first time. Not as a dishwasher. Not as a solution. Not as a threat to her pride. But as a woman. Standing in the ruins of her own life. Still choosing to show compassion. Harper, voice trembling but steady. You said you lost children before. Aisha. Yes. Harper. Does it still hurt? Aisha's throat worked around a memory she didn't speak. Aisha. Every day. But I learned. Pain teaches vigilance. Love teaches persistence. Loss teaches humility. Harper. And what teaches courage? Aisha met her eyes without blinking. Aisha. Desperation. And the people worth fighting for. It was quiet. Too quiet. 2 lives, 2 worlds, 2 hearts. Standing close enough to feel the warmth. Far enough to fear the fire. And then, Lily stirred. Just slightly. Just enough. Harper rushed to her. Aisha stepped back, letting mother and child reunite, putting armor back on piece by piece. But Harper didn't forget the touch, or the truth, or the woman who had just studied her heart. No kiss, but something far more dangerous was stirring. understanding. And once understanding begins, desire isn't far behind. Scene 5, The Unmasking. Later that night in the small consultation room in the private wing Harper bought out for Lily. Outside the glass, steel, London lights were bright, but inside, one fluorescent bulb whined over two women who cannot escape each other. Aisha stands with her back to the wall, shoulders rigid, hair slightly messy from hours of tending to Lily. She looks exhausted, more spirit than flesh. Harper stands opposite her, immaculate except for the storm brewing in her perfect posture. Harper. Quiet but lethal. You are going to walk away again. Just vanish into the night like you don't matter. Aisha. I wasn't going to vanish. I was going to pray. There's a difference. Harper. You're avoiding me. And you know it. Aisha. Maybe because you keep showing up with a checkbook instead of a heart. That hits Harper harder than she lets show. Her jaw flexes. Harper. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help my daughter. You are acting like I'm the enemy. Aisha. Because you keep acting like I'm yours to buy. Silence. A dangerous, pulsing silence. Harper steps forward. Harper. I did some digging. Aisha freezes. Her blood goes cold. Harper. Your qualifications, your publications, your clinic in Al-Husaniya. You are not a dishwasher. You were never meant to be here like this. Aisha's eyes flash with fury and shame all tangled. Aisha. You had no right. Harper. I had every right. You saved my child. I needed to understand who you are. Aisha. Voice breaking but razor sharp. You mean you needed to know how useful I am? Harper exhales sharply, wounded, frustrated, undone. Harper. I needed to know why someone like you is hiding in my country, terrified of the wrong knock on the door. Aisha turns away, gripping the back of a chair like it's the only thing keeping her from collapsing. Aisha. Because I lost everything. My clinic. My father. My research. All burned in a political feud I had nothing to do with. They told me I was safer leaving the region, that I could rebuild, that my visa would process fast. But London does not open its doors unless you have gold in your pockets. And I came here with nothing. Her voice splinters. She doesn't cry, but it's close. Aisha. So I washed dishes. And I prayed no one would look at me too long. Harper's breath shakes. Something inside her shifts, cracks, softens. She walks closer, slowly, as if approaching a wounded lion. Harper. You deserved better. Aisha meets her stare full of fire, pride, refusal. Aisha. I deserve the chance to stand on my own. Not be saved by a woman who thinks money is the cure for every wound. Harper swallows. Her voice lowers, raw. Harper. Money is all I've ever had. I don't know how to fix a world that's breaking except to throw everything I own at it. I don't know how to be. Her voice softens. Anything else? Aisha's lips part. For once, she sees the cracks behind the steel. Aisha. Maybe that's the problem. You don't need to be anything else with me. The room goes still. A new kind of tension coils between them, heavy, fragile, electric. Harper steps right in front of her. Not touching, but so close Aisha feels the warmth of her breath. Harper. Tell me what you need from me. Anything. Just say the word. Aisha shakes her head. Aisha. I don't need your money, Harper. I need your understanding. Your restraint. And your respect. A beat. Harper nods. Slowly. Like surrender. Harper. Then teach me how to respect you. I'm listening. Aisha studies her long, searching, then exhales. Aisha. Then stop trying to save me. And stand with me instead. And something in Harper's chest ignites, quiet but unmistakable. Not desire yet. Not love. But the beginning of both. Scene 6, The Unlikely Allies. Later that week in a glass-walled conference room in a government immigration office. Cold. Bureaucratic. The kind of place where hope goes to die. Harper sits beside Aisha, both of them facing a panel of officials. Aisha looks like steel wrapped in silk, composed but exhausted. Harper looks like a billionaire forced to breathe the same air as mediocrity. Three officials shuffle papers, uninterested, unimpressed. To them, Aisha is a case number. To Harper, she is the reason her daughter is still alive. Immigration officer. So, Miss Al-Saad, you are currently undocumented and employed illegally? Ayesha's jaw tightens, but she keeps her voice calm. Ayesha, I am employed as a dishwasher because your government refused to acknowledge my qualifications. I submitted every document required and received no response for 8 months. The other immigration officer responds too quick. We process many applications. Yours is not unique. Harper's head snaps toward him like a wolf noticing prey. Harper, her case is absolutely unique. Unless you have a second pediatric immunologist with desert region epidemic experience washing dishes in the back of a pub. The officials collectively shift, annoyed. A third immigration officer tries to interject. Mrs. Griffiths, with respect. Harper cut him off before he could finish. I do not require your respect. I require results. Ayesha places a subtle hand on Harper's forearm, not a touch meant for comfort. A warning. A tether. Ayesha. Softly. Harper, let me speak. Harper inhales, nods once, unclenching. Ayesha faces the panel, posture regal, voice unwavering. Ayesha. I did not come here for handouts. I came here to work, to contribute, to treat conditions your hospitals do not even know how to diagnose. Children are dying because no one in London has studied the viruses and autoimmune reactions that plague desert communities. I am willing to share that knowledge. But I cannot if I am treated like a criminal for trying to survive. The room goes quiet. Even Harper is still, captivated, proud, undone. The first immigration officer stumbles over his words. We will review your file. Harper. No. You will expedite it. Ayesha. Harper. Ignoring the warning. And you will grant her provisional authorization to practice under my institution's sponsorship until the visa is issued. Immigration officer number 2. That is not how the system works. Harper leans back, slow, dangerous, almost amused. Harper. Everything is how the system works, when you build the system. Ayesha closes her eyes briefly, equal parts mortified and grateful. Harper shoots her a look. I told you I don't do small. The officials huddle. Whisper. Shuffle more papers. After a long minute. Immigration officer number 3. We can grant temporary humanitarian clearance pending full review. Ayesha's breath releases in a shudder she tries to hide. Harper turns to her, not smiling, but softening in a way only Ayesha ever sees. Then Harper tries to get Ayesha into the best hospital. The system slams the door. Credentials invalid because of visa issue. No exceptions. So, Harper does what only Harper can do. She builds a hospital. Brick by brick. Money like water. A sanctuary for rare and forgotten illnesses. A kingdom for the overlooked. Then while it's in process, she asks Ayesha to run it. And Ayesha? She shakes her head. Not until my name is legal. I will not build something only to be torn from it. This is where Harper begins fighting not with her money, but with her heart. Harper. Then stay and build it with me. Ayesha looks away, overwhelmed, whispering. Ayesha. This doesn't fix everything. Harper. No. But it keeps you here. With Lily. With. She stops herself, voice catching. With us. Ayesha's heartbeat betrays her. Harper's eyes flicker with something dangerous and unspoken. As they stand to leave, Ayesha murmurs. Ayesha. Next time, don't bulldoze the government for me. Harper. Then stop making me want to. The air between them sparks. Not romance yet. Not confession. But hunger. Respect. Fear. Possibility. And a gravitational pull neither one can shake. Scene 7, the night the walls cracked. Late night at the new hospital site, still under construction. Concrete bones, temporary lighting, scaffolding whispering in the dark. Ayesha walks through the unfinished corridors alone. She's been avoiding Harper since the immigration meeting, too many emotions, too many eyes, too much everything. She stops in what will one day be her clinic, touching the raw cement wall. Her breath trembles. Behind her, quiet footsteps. Harper. Still in her tailored coat, hair pulled back, eyes shadowed with exhaustion. She walks like a woman carrying kingdoms on her spine. Harper. You left without saying anything. Ayesha doesn't turn. Ayesha. Because I didn't trust what would come out of my mouth. Harper. Then tell me now. Ayesha spins, fire erupting. Ayesha. You can't keep doing that. Walking into rooms and bending worlds because you think it will fix everything. Harper. It got you clearance, didn't it? Ayesha. At what cost? My dignity? My independence? Every time you bulldoze a wall for me, I lose a piece of myself. Harper steps closer, voice rough. Harper. I did it because I needed you to stay. Ayesha freezes. Harper swallows hard like the truth tastes too sharp. Harper. Lily needs you. London needs you. And I. She stops herself. Ayesha sees it anyway. Ayesha. Harper. Gentler. You can't keep confusing gratitude with whatever this is between us. Harper. I know exactly what this is. Ayesha's breath falters. Harper steps forward again, slow, almost reverent, until there's barely a whisper of air between them. Harper. I don't want to own you. I don't want to cage you. I want to stand beside you. But I don't know how to do that without trying to fix every crack I see. Ayesha's eyes soften despite herself. Ayesha. Then stop seeing me as something broken. Harper flinches. Ayesha's voice steadies, low and raw. Ayesha. I'm not a problem. I'm not a project. I'm a woman who survived hell. And if you want to be part of my life, you meet me as an equal. Not a billionaire. Not a savior. Just Harper. Silence. Thick. Electric. Fragile. Harper exhales shakily, stepping back just enough to breathe. Harper. You think I don't see your strength? Ayesha, you terrify me. You walk into my world with nothing but your hands and your courage. And suddenly everything I've built feels small. Ayesha feels her chest pull tight. She moves closer, almost without meaning to. Ayesha. I never asked you to make yourself small. Harper. You didn't. But you make me want to be better. And I don't know how to handle that. That confession hangs between them like lightning suspended in midair. Ayesha's voice drops, barely a whisper. Ayesha. You don't have to handle it. Just feel it. They are standing so close now that Ayesha can feel Harper's breath against her cheek. Neither touches the other. But the tension is molten. Harper's voice trembles. Harper. If I touch you, I won't be able to pretend anymore. Ayesha's reply comes from somewhere deep, somewhere she's been locking with both hands. Ayesha. Then stop pretending. Harper inhales sharply, like stepping off a cliff. Her hand rises, slow, unsure, and hovers at Ayesha's jaw. Ayesha doesn't retreat. And then, Harper's fingers brush her skin. A soft, devastating contact. A spark that rips through both of them. Ayesha closes her eyes, breath trembling. Harper's other hand curls against the wall behind her, caging her without touching her. Their foreheads meet. Not a kiss. Not yet. Something deeper, older, more dangerous. Harper. Tell me to stop. Ayesha's voice breaks open. Ayesha. I can't. Harper's lips hover a heartbeat from hers. A promise, a threat, a surrender. And then, a loud crash echoes down the hallway. Construction crew entering for a night shift. Both women snap back, breathless, undone. Ayesha steps away quickly, pressing a hand to her chest. Harper watches her, eyes dark, hungry, shaken to her core. Harper. This isn't over. Ayesha turns, cheeks flushed, heart roaring. Ayesha. No. It's just beginning. Scene 8, The Aftermath and the Hunger. Later that evening in Harper's penthouse. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking London, lights like scattered stars. Ayesha has agreed to come for a private consultation on Lily's follow-up care, but neither of them is ready for what the night carries. Ayesha leans against the edge of the kitchen counter, arms crossed, lips pressed into a thin line. Harper watches her from across the room, seated in a high-backed chair, fingers tapping a rhythm that mirrors her heartbeat. The air is taut, almost vibrating with unsaid words. Harper. You've been avoiding me all day. Ayesha. I haven't been avoiding anything. I'm focused. On Lily. On work. On surviving here. Harper. Voice low, teasing, dangerous. And yet, you can't stop thinking about this, us. Ayesha freezes. Her eyes flicker. Harper notices. Ayesha. Cold, deflecting. I don't think about you like that. Harper stands, moving closer, slow and deliberate. Harper. Whispering. You're lying. I see it. Every look. Every pause. Every heartbeat that doesn't quite match your words. Ayesha swallows, heart hammering, hands trembling ever so slightly. She's trying to stand her ground. Ayesha. You're wealthy. You can command armies, nations, everything. But you can't command me. I'm not yours to possess. Harper's lips curve into a slow, dangerous smile. Harper. I never wanted to possess you. I want you to choose me. Every single time. Ayesha's breath catches. She takes a half step back, but Harper closes the space between them with just a few measured strides. Their eyes lock. Hunger, longing, fear, and respect collide in the silence. Harper. Soft, raw. Do you feel it too? Ayesha doesn't answer immediately. Her chest heaves, her hands clench. Ayesha. Whispering. Yes. That single word is enough to ignite the air. Harper closes the distance, letting her hand hover just above Ayesha's cheek, trembling slightly in hesitation. Harper. Then let me in. Ayesha's fingers hover over Harper's wrist. She's tempted, oh, so tempted, but her pride fights for dominance. Ayesha. You can't just push your way in. Not with me. Harper. Smiling, low, sultry. I don't need to push. You already opened the door, and you didn't even know it. Ayesha finally lets her hand brush against Harper's, and the spark is immediate, raw electricity. She swallows hard, resisting, but leaning in, drawn. It's the first moment they let themselves feel the gravity of their connection. Not full surrender. Not a kiss yet. But enough tension to make the night itself pulse. Harper. Voice husky. One kiss, and we're done pretending we're not on fire. Ayesha closes her eyes, biting her lip, and leans in just slightly. Ayesha. Whisper. I'm not ready to lose myself. Harper's hand cups her jaw, thumb brushing her cheek tenderly. Harper. Neither am I. But maybe we lose ourselves together. The lights of London twinkle behind them like witnesses to what is about to happen. They hover, breaths mingling, hearts screaming, and the distance between desire and surrender shrinks, until it's nothing but a heartbeat. Scene 9, the first kiss, the first surrender. Ayesha stayed later than she wanted to. At midnight in Harper's penthouse with London sleeping below, but the room pulses with quiet heat. The construction of their hospital, the battles fought, the truths revealed all vanish into the night. It's just them, finally. Ayesha stands near the French doors, her back to the city lights. Her fingers fidget with the cuff of her sleeve, nerves and desire in a knot. Harper moves closer, each step deliberate, measured, but every inch a promise. Harper. Voice low, raw. I can't stay away from you any longer. Ayesha. Breath catching, almost a whisper. Harper. Harper. Shh, don't speak. Not yet. Just feel it. Ayesha's chest heaves as Harper's hand finds hers. They stand side by side, fingertips brushing, a current running up their arms. Ayesha. Softly trembling. I'm not ready. Harper. I don't want you ready. I want you willing. Harper steps closer, her free hand lifting to cup Ayesha's cheek, thumb brushing lightly over her lips. Ayesha's eyes flutter shut, heart hammering. Ayesha. Voice breaking. And if I fall, what then? Harper. Then we fall together. And I will catch you. Ayesha opens her eyes soft, wet, raw, and meets Harper's gaze. Her resolve begins to crumble. The room tightens around them, every heartbeat magnified. The world beyond those windows ceases to exist. Harper leans in. Slow. Tempting. Their breaths mingle. The air thickens. And then, their lips meet. Soft. Tentative. Testing. A question that needs no answer. Ayesha melts into it. A shiver rolls down her spine. Harper's other hand slides to her waist, pulling her close, but carefully, reverently, as if afraid to break the fragile perfection of this moment. Time fractures. Everything falls away except the heat of skin, the racing of hearts, the promise of surrender. Harper pulls back just slightly, forehead resting against Ayesha's. Harper. Breathless. Say it. Say you want this. Ayesha's lips part, voice trembling, husky. Ayesha. I want you. Harper smiles, slow, victorious, but tender. Their lips meet again. This time deeper, hungrier, unrestrained. A collision of fire and relief, fear and trust, passion and promise. And in that kiss, every wall falls. Every doubt fades. Every whispered fear is drowned in the rhythm of two hearts choosing to burn together. When they finally pull apart, it's only by a breath, only by necessity. Ayesha's eyes glisten. Harper's hands tremble. Harper. Soft, almost a whisper. We're just beginning, Ayesha. Just beginning. Ayesha nods, resting her forehead against Harper's shoulder. Ayesha. Then we face it together. The night holds them close. The city below sleeps unaware, but in this room, two women have claimed their fire, and it will never be extinguished. Scene 10. The hospital opens, and the world pushes back. Early morning in the newly built Griffiths Children's Hospital. Sunlight glints off the glass facade. Staff bustle. Nurses, administrators, and doctors all waiting for direction. Ayesha stands in the main corridor, tablet in hand, scanning schedules, her expression sharp, unreadable. Harper appears at the end of the hallway, coat removed, hair loose, exuding the power that built the walls around them. Harper. Good morning, Director Al-Saad. Ayesha doesn't look up. She knows Harper's presence, feels the heat of her gaze. Ayesha. Good morning, Mississippi Griffiths. Are you here to observe or to interfere? Harper smiles, leaning casually against the wall, eyes scanning the organized chaos. Harper. I'm here to stand with you. I'm here to make sure the world knows this hospital isn't just brick and steel, it's ours. And I mean ours in every sense. Ayesha's head tilts slightly. She doesn't move, doesn't give Harper the satisfaction of softening yet. Ayesha. We'll see about that. This hospital runs on expertise, not influence. I will not be compromised. Harper. Stepping closer, voice low. Nor would I want you to be. But the world out there, it's going to try. They'll test you, test me, and test us. Ayesha finally looks up, eyes locking with Harper's. The tension is familiar. The pull undeniable. Ayesha. I don't need saving. I need allies. Harper. Smiling fierce. Then you have me. Every step. Every battle. Every sleepless night. The first test. An administrator enters briskly, clipboard raised, authority radiating. She's clearly unimpressed by Harper's presence. Administrator. Mississippi Griffiths, I must remind you that protocol dictates staffing assignments go through HR, not the director's personal instructions. Harper steps forward, voice cold, precise, unstoppable. Harper. And I remind you this hospital was built for children who need answers HR cannot provide. If anyone questions Director Al-Saad's methods, they're questioning my daughter's life and my judgment. Ayesha's jaw tightens, impressed despite herself. Harper's power is intimidating, yes, but it's also protective, unwavering. Ayesha. Cool, measured. And if anyone questions my authority here, I will do the same. Harper's eyes flick to hers. A shared understanding passes between them. The battle lines are drawn. Together, unstoppable. Later, the chaos calms. Ayesha walks the hallways, checking on patients. Harper follows quietly, observing, proud. Finally, she steps beside Ayesha in the corner office overlooking the city. Harper. Softly teasing. You look good in a lab coat. Ayesha smirks, shaking her head. Ayesha. I look competent. Not good. Don't confuse the two. Harper steps closer, hand brushing against hers, not a command, not a claim, just a touch. Harper. I've been confused about a lot of things lately. But not this. Ayesha's breath hitches. She doesn't pull away. Ayesha. The world doesn't need another billionaire playing hero. Harper. I'm not playing. I'm standing beside you. And maybe, just maybe, I'm hoping you'll let me in other ways too. Ayesha meets her gaze, softening. Ayesha. We'll see. We're not done testing each other yet. Harper grins, dangerously, leaning just enough closer to make the air between them ignite. Harper. I wouldn't have it any other way. And so, the hospital opens. The battles begin. And the fire between them, muted in private, blazing in truth, becomes the force that will shape their world. Scene 11, The Test of Trust. Later in the afternoon at Griffith's Children's Hospital. Aisha is reviewing rare pediatric cases in the consultation wing. A renowned medical board member, Dr. Carlisle, arrives unexpectedly. Harper is in the waiting lounge, quietly observing, tension coiling around her like a spring. Dr. Carlisle. Director Al-Saad, I must say, your methods are unconventional. Some might call them reckless. Aisha's eyes flash. She stands, poised, unyielding. Aisha. Unconventional only when the world refuses to see the uncommon. I treat what others dismiss. Dr. Carlisle smiles thinly, a predator testing boundaries. Dr. Carlisle. And yet, you're still a foreigner. London regulations are strict. Perhaps you're better suited elsewhere. Aisha's jaw tightens, every inch of her radiating controlled fury. Aisha. I am here to help children, not to argue politics. I am willing to step aside only if lives are at risk. Otherwise, I suggest you step aside. Dr. Carlisle's smile falters slightly. Harper rises, stepping beside Aisha. Harper. Or perhaps you should consider the consequences of underestimating someone who saved my child. And someone who runs a hospital I built for that very reason. Aisha turns her gaze on Harper briefly, but meaningfully. They're a unit, unspoken, unbreakable. Aisha. Thank you. But do not think I rely on you to fight my battles. I can do that myself. Harper's smile is dangerous, almost predatory, but full of admiration. Harper. I know. But it doesn't mean I won't. Later, alone in her office, Aisha reviews patient charts. Harper enters quietly, leaning against the doorframe, unannounced. Harper. You handled him well. Aisha. I didn't need you to tell me that. Harper. I didn't. I just like watching you in your element. It's captivating. Aisha feels her chest tighten. A blush threatens to betray her. Aisha. Stop flattering me. It won't work. Harper. Moving closer, teasing low. Is that a challenge? Aisha meets her gaze, equal parts defiance and desire. Aisha. Whisper. Maybe. Harper steps into the office fully, closing the distance. Their breaths mingle. The air between them shimmers with unspoken tension, a fire they are no longer able to ignore. Harper. Then let me prove it. Aisha exhales, caught between resistance and surrender. They hover, inches apart. The room feels smaller, hotter, intimate, like the world has reduced itself to just them. Aisha's hand brushes Harper's, intentionally or not, it doesn't matter. Aisha. We still have boundaries. Harper. Voice husky electric. Boundaries are just the beginning. And I intend to explore every one of them with patience and with passion. Aisha's resolve wavers. Harper's closeness is undeniable. For the first time, they both realize that this isn't just desire. It's trust. It's respect. It's fire. The test isn't over. The world will push back. But together, Harper and Aisha have found their rhythm, two hearts in collision, unwilling to bend, unwilling to break, yet drawn irresistibly closer with every spark. Scene 12, Fire in the hallways. The hospital is buzzing, patients, nurses, administrators, and a few visiting inspectors. Aisha strides through the corridors with quiet authority. Harper follows closely, a protective shadow. Nurse. Director Al-Saad, the inspectors from the health authority are requesting a review of your procedures. They're questioning the unorthodox treatments in pediatric immunology. Aisha's lips tighten, but her posture doesn't falter. Aisha. Calm, firm. Show them every case, every success, every method. And if they still object, I'll explain it again. Harper steps beside her, voice low, dangerous. Harper. And I'll make sure they listen. Aisha shoots her a look, equal parts warning and intrigue. Aisha. Harper, please. This isn't a negotiation. Harper. No, but it's a fight. And I fight better with you. The inspectors enter. Stern, judgmental. They begin questioning staff, scrutinizing charts, challenging procedures. Inspector number 1. These treatments, are they approved? Are they recognized by London medical boards? Ayesha steps forward, unwavering. Ayesha. They are recognized where they are needed most. They save children that conventional methods cannot. And I am fully qualified to apply them. Inspector number 2 glances at Harper, assuming the billionaire is just another patron. Inspector number 2. Miss Griffiths, surely you understand these are serious regulations. Harper leans in, voice controlled but sharp. Harper. Yes, I understand them. But I also understand that my daughter's life, and hundreds of others, depends on this hospital being allowed to function without obstruction. Director Al-Saad is here because she is the expert, not because she is convenient. You will respect that expertise. Ayesha watches, a faint smile tugging at her lips. Harper's defiance is intoxicating, but it's tempered by respect, and that's what makes it different from all the others who have tried to dominate her. After the inspectors leave, the hospital hums with renewed energy. Ayesha walks to her office, scanning patient charts, but Harper quietly closes the door behind her. Harper. Soft teasing. You know, watching you command that room, it's infuriating and beautiful at the same time. Ayesha. Without looking up. I don't need flattery. Harper. Stepping closer. I know. But I like making you flush. Ayesha finally looks up, eyes narrowed, lips curving into a small, reluctant smile. Ayesha. You're impossible. Harper. Low, intimate. And yet, irresistible. Their hands brush again, not accidental. Ayesha doesn't pull away. Harper steps closer, closing the space between them, voice dropping to a whisper. Harper. I want to protect you in every way. And sometimes, that includes bending the rules. Ayesha swallows, heart hammering, cheeks flushing. Ayesha. You don't get to decide that for me. Harper. No. But I get to choose to stand with you. Always. The air between them sizzles. Not yet surrender, but the pull is undeniable, passion, trust, and defiance wrapped into a single moment. The world tried to put rules between them. Bureaucracy tried to slow them down. But in the hallways of that hospital, fire finds its own way, and it burns brighter when shared. Scene 13, When Walls Fall. Later that evening in Harper's penthouse. After a long day at the hospital, they finally have a moment alone. The city glows below, lights like a constellation reflected in the glass. Ayesha sits at the edge of the sofa, exhausted, hands clasped. Harper perches beside her, close but not imposing. Harper. You're tired. Ayesha. Without looking up. I've been running on adrenaline and coffee. Nothing new. Harper. Softly. You do too much alone. Ayesha finally lifts her gaze, dark eyes meeting Harper's. Ayesha. I do it alone because I have to. Because if I let anyone in, they'll try to control me. Harper leans closer, gently tucking a strand of hair behind Ayesha's ear. Harper. And what if I don't try to control you? What if I just want to hold you when the world gets heavy? Ayesha stiffens, heart hammering, voice barely a whisper. Ayesha. And if I let you, what then? Harper. Then you'll find out. I'm not perfect. I have scars too. I've built empires, but I've also broken things I never meant to. Ayesha's eyes soften. She studies Harper, the power, the vulnerability, the hunger all wrapped into one person she's learning to trust. Ayesha. You're not as untouchable as you seem. Harper. Half smiling, half sad. I'm less than untouchable. I'm human. And I don't want to face it alone anymore. Ayesha's hand brushes Harper's, careful, testing the water. Harper doesn't move away. Ayesha. I've fought my whole life to stay standing. To survive. To be seen as more than just a foreigner, just a doctor, just what everyone else expects of me. Harper. I see you, Ayesha. Everything. And I don't want to let you fight alone. Ayesha's defenses tremble. She exhales, letting herself lean slightly into Harper's side. Ayesha. I don't know if I can let anyone in. Harper. Soft, intimate. Then let me in slowly. Step by step. You don't have to surrender all at once. Ayesha swallows hard, her chest tightening with longing, fear, and relief all at once. Ayesha. Whisper. I want to try. Harper slides her hand over Ayesha's, thumb brushing in gentle rhythm. Harper. That's all I need. In that quiet, after the roar of the world, they find each other. Not in a kiss, not in passion, but in the space between words. A connection unshakable. The beginning of a trust that will carry them through storms, desire, and danger alike. Scene 14. The Crisis and the Triumph. The day begins quietly, but the calm is deceptive. Ayesha is already moving through the wards, checking patients, reading charts, and coordinating treatments with unwavering precision. Harper observes from the gallery above, a mix of awe, admiration, and desire simmering in her chest. Nurse. Director Al-Saad, there's a critical case in ICU. A child with an extremely rare infection. Nothing in the London protocol matches it. Ayesha's brow furrows, but her movements are decisive. Ayesha. Prepare the isolation ward. Gather the necessary antivirals, supportive care, and monitor vitals continuously. I'll handle the diagnosis and intervention myself. The hospital staff move like clockwork under her direction. Harper watches, breath caught not just by her competence, but by the calm authority, the confidence radiating from Ayesha in a room full of panic. Harper, whispering to herself. This is extraordinary. As the crisis unfolds, the medical bureaucrats arrive, stern expressions, clipboards ready, skepticism in every glance. They see Harper at the back, but their attention is riveted on Ayesha, who is calm, commanding, and precise in her actions. Inspector Number 1. Director Al-Saad, you're taking liberties with protocol again. Ayesha. Without pausing. I'm taking the life of this child seriously. And protocol is only as good as its ability to save lives. Observe. Learn. Understand. I have experience treating diseases unfamiliar to this region. I know what to do. The inspectors watch, initially hesitant. The child stabilizes under Ayesha's care, vitals normalize, symptoms regress. Nurses whisper in awe, and even the skeptical board members cannot deny the results. Inspector Number 2. Quietly to colleague. We may have underestimated her. Once the immediate crisis passes, Harper steps forward, confident, unwavering. Harper. You see her brilliance, don't you? The skill, the intuition, the experience that London desperately lacks? She is the reason this hospital exists. And she will lead it without obstruction. The inspectors exchange glances, then slowly nod. Inspector Number 1. Miss Griffiths. Director Al-Saad, exceptional. We will recommend full autonomy for the hospital. And given her qualifications and the urgency, we will expedite her visa. Ayesha freezes, heart hammering. Harper's hand finds hers briefly, but the touch is enough to steady her. Ayesha. Whisper, almost disbelieving. It's real? Harper. Yes. You're free here. And London finally gets to see what I've known all along, your extraordinary talent. Ayesha lets herself exhale, finally allowing relief, pride, and a flush of emotion. Harper's gaze holds hers intense, warm, unshakable. Later, in the quiet of Harper's office, the tension of the day dissolves into a shared, intimate moment. Harper steps close, fingers brushing Ayesha's hair back. Harper. You're unstoppable. And now, no one can stop you. Ayesha. Softly leaning in. Because I have you standing beside me. Harper's lips brush hers, gentle at first, then deepening into something unrestrained. The passion that simmered beneath rules, crises, and bureaucracy finally finds release. And in that kiss, freedom is tasted. Autonomy, recognition, desire, and trust, each element burns in unison. Ayesha is free, London is transformed, and their fire is unstoppable. Scene 15 after the storm. Later that night at Harper's penthouse. London glimmers below like a river of stars. The day has been long, intense, transformative. Ayesha sits on the sofa, bare feet tucked under her, exhausted but alive. Harper enters carrying 2 glasses of wine, her presence warm, magnetic. Harper. Soft teasing. I thought you might need this. A small celebration for a very big victory. Ayesha glances up, a faint smile tugging at her lips. Ayesha. Victory, for surviving bureaucracy, not for me. Harper sits beside her, careful not to crowd, yet close enough that their knees touch. Harper. You survived because you're extraordinary. I just got to watch it happen. And I got to be here for you. Ayesha's hand brushes Harper's, a quiet, deliberate touch. Ayesha. And now, we have freedom. The hospital, the visa, all of it. Harper. Yes. And we can finally breathe. Their eyes meet. The air hums with unspoken desire. Ayesha. Softly. I want to. But not with the world watching. Harper. Smiling intimate. Then only with me. Here. Now. Harper tilts Ayesha's chin up, eyes locking. The kiss begins slow, soft, exploring, savoring the kind of kiss that carries the weight of battles fought and victories earned. Ayesha melts into it, tension unspooling, passion simmering beneath the surface. The city sleeps. The world outside no longer matters. It's only them, and the fire between them that has grown through struggle, trust, and mutual respect, and Lily sleeping soundly in her bedroom. Harper slides an arm around Ayesha, drawing her close. Ayesha rests her head against Harper's chest, listening to the steady beat of her heart. Ayesha. I never thought I could let someone in like this. Harper. You're letting me in. And I'm never going anywhere. Ayesha exhales, a sigh of relief, pride, and intimacy all at once. Harper leans in, whispering against her hair. Harper. We've fought the world today. Tonight, we just exist. Together. Ayesha smiles, finally allowing herself to relax fully. The weight of fear, struggle, and uncertainty has lifted, replaced with trust, love, and desire. And in the quiet after the storm, they discover that the greatest victories are not just the battles won, but the hearts that open, fully and willingly, to each other. Scene 16, A Legacy of Fire and Trust. Morning light spills across Griffith's Children's Hospital. The building hums with life, laughter of children, focused footsteps of doctors, and the calm authority of Ayesha moving through the wards. Harper walks alongside her, a subtle hand brushing Ayesha's as they move, a private connection in the midst of the world. Harper. Soft content. You've built something incredible here. Ayesha. Smiling proud. We've built something incredible. I couldn't have done it alone. Harper slides her hand fully into Ayesha's, entwining fingers. Harper. I didn't just build a hospital. I built a home for your talent, and a world where you could finally be seen. Ayesha looks at Harper, a mixture of awe, affection, and desire in her eyes. Ayesha. And you've changed my world too. I never thought I could let anyone in. But you proved that trust and fire can coexist. Harper leans in, voice husky, intimate. Harper. And now we keep building. Together. The hospital. Our lives. Everything in between. Ayesha exhales, closing the small distance between them. Their lips meet in a kiss that is soft at first, then deep, a promise of the passion that continues beyond bureaucracy, crises, and fear. The months that followed kept them busy, but their closeness stayed. Ayesha started teaching young doctors unconventional treatments, her calm authority unwavering. Harper was walking the halls, both protective and playful, quietly watching her partner's brilliance. Children laughing in the gardens, parents reassured, and the hospital thriving beyond expectation. Harper and Ayesha still sharing fleeting touches in corridors, stolen moments of intimacy and fire. They fought the world, and the world bent. They faced fear, rules, and ambition, and found trust. They discovered that passion and purpose are not opposites, but fire and light that can guide each other. That night, a private moment between Harper and Ayesha on the penthouse balcony. City lights below, stars above. Ayesha. Softly, leaning into Harper. We did it. The hospital, the freedom, us. Harper. Arm around her, whispering. And this is just the beginning. Ayesha tilts her head, lips brushing Harper's shoulder, voice intimate. Ayesha. Then let's make every moment ours. Harper holds her close, whispering against her hair. Harper. Every moment, mi vida. Every single one. They stand together, quiet, intertwined, the city beneath them, the fire between them steady and infinite. And so, their story continues. A tale of courage, trust, and passion. A love forged in adversity, strengthened by fire, and unbreakable in the light of day. Epilogue: Lily's place in the family. Sunlight pours into the pediatric ward. Lily Griffiths, now healthy and laughing, runs through the playroom with other children. Ayesha watches from the doorway, tablet in hand but attention fully on the little girl, a smile softening her usually sharp features. Harper stands beside Ayesha, coffee in hand, laughing as Lily nearly trips in playful exuberance. Lily, giggling. Ayesha, catch me. Ayesha, kneeling, arms open. Got you, my love. Always. Lily tumbles into her embrace, and Ayesha spins her gently, careful yet playful. Harper, teasing from the side. Be careful, mi vida. You're going to have Ayesha spinning you into a professional acrobat before long. Lily, laughing. I want to be a doctor like Ayesha. Ayesha's heart melts, but she keeps her composure, a proud, controlled smile on her lips. Ayesha, soft, encouraging. And if you work hard, you will be. But remember, it's not just about knowledge, it's about patience, courage, and heart. Lily beams up at her, wide-eyed and full of trust. Harper steps forward, wrapping an arm around both of them. Harper, warmly. And you have both of us to guide you. Always. Later, in the hospital garden, Lily skips ahead to Harper and Ayesha, stopping to hug them both. Ayesha lifts her, spinning her slightly, while Harper's hands settle on their shoulders in quiet, protective love. The three of them stand together, an unspoken bond, a family forged in struggle, trust, and fire. Lily's laughter is the music of their triumph. She is the spark that illuminated their paths. Healthy, joyful, and thriving, she is proof that the battles they fought were worth it, not just for themselves, but for her. Harper and Ayesha exchange a glance, equal parts pride, desire, and love. The child between them is both a symbol and a living testament. Together, they are unstoppable. Later that night, with Lily asleep in Harper's arms, Ayesha brushing a strand of hair from Harper's face. The city lights twinkle below, stars above. The three of them, finally a family, wrapped in warmth, love, and security. Harper, whisper to Ayesha. All of this, it's ours. Ayesha, softly, looking at Lily, then Harper. Yes, and it's just the beginning. The fire between Harper and Ayesha burns steady. The little girl who sparked their journey laughs, sleeps, and thrives. And together, they have built a world where passion, trust, and love are infinite. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe and like this video and follow me for more stories. You are always welcome here, and leave me a comment or a thumbs up, just letting me know if you like the story and would like more, or is there perhaps an idea that you would like to share or let me write for you.